Okay. Instagram is not Instagramming. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can get Instagram going. Something will work.
Kathy and Kimmy got the vibe. Latchkey kids on a ride. After school they come alive. Pop culture kids, let's jive. Stories told with love and cheer. Pop laughs, wonders far and near. In this world they steer the wheel. Kathy, Kenny, they're so real. Pop culture kids, oh yeah. We're diving in life's flair. Kathy, Kenny, make it right. We'll groove and laugh all night. Pop culture kids, let's jive. Stories told with love and cheer. Pop life's wonders far and near. In this world they steer the wheel. Kathy, Kenny, is so real. Pop culture kids, oh yeah. We're diving in life's fair. Kathy, Kenny, make it bright. We'll groove and laugh all night.
It's Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture.
With Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. Cousin Lisa, so good to see you today. I am well. Hope you are doing well as well. And we are doing this every Sunday night, Kathy and Kenny, as we explain pop culture. It's Pop Culture Kids, and coming to you from the North and the South, me from North Carolina, Kenny from South Jersey. Kenny, how are you this Sunday night, my brother?
I am just doing fabulous, fabulous, fabulous.
Click, click, click.
Click, click, click.
I
All
saw you doing
kinds.
some babysitting duties this weekend.
Yes, yes, yes. I spent my Thursday night. I had to think about it, see, because I'm a grandpa and I don't know what's going on. But I spent my Thursday night with the kids, and we had a good time hanging out, being fun, and doing things. And somebody in the comments on my Facebook said, "Looks more like you're the play date." And yes, that is my job, to be the play date. I am not. My son and I, George and I, we already talked about this. I'm not there to discipline. I'm not there to rear the kids. If they start crying or having a fit, I hand them back. That is, I raised kids already. I'm good. Olivia's 18. I'm done raising kids.
I don't
I'm
think
the
you're ever done.
I'm done. I am the fun guy, and that's what I did. Thursday night, I was the guy that had fun with, and we had a good time. We played, we wrestled, we watched the new Megamind movie, and we just had a good time. So, hey,
Oh, I like this comment from Lisa because she's already on our topic tonight, our celebrity crushes. She says, I'm putting it out there now. Morris Chestnut is and will always be my celebrity crush. That is a good one. And I know, Kitty, you have some odd ones, and we're going to talk about not necessarily your crushes, but just celebrity crushes that most people have, or I guess
Yes,
I
yes.
I don't know.
Well,
You'll tell us how you compiled this list.
okay, I compiled this list. Well, we'll get to that later. Let's get to the
Okay.
news first. Let's talk about your
All right,
news.
let's do a little pop culture news. Oh, but you know what? Before we do the pop culture news, because I told you I'd already did the timer before I had a chance to run a new sound, a new theme song. So I wanted to play the new theme song and get your thoughts on it.
Okay,
Are
let's
you
hit a new
ready?
theme song. Yes, yeah, let's go. I'm here for it.
Can you hear it?
Kathy and
Uh-oh.
Kenny here to say pop culture fun in every way. Music, TV, movies, oh so bright. Join us for a blast tonight. Sister and brother rocking the flow, sharing all the things you need to know. Kathy and Kenny always in the mix. Pop culture fun fix to face. Pop culture kids, pop culture. Tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone. It's for everyone. I brought some for everyone. Pop culture kids podcast crew. Tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone.
Oh, it's over. Okay, my bad. Song's over.
Okay. So, and again, that's all with the help of AI, a site called AI Tubo, and it generates music. Basically, I fed it the prompt that we were a brother and sister podcast team uh, talking about movies, music, and TV, and pop culture and celebrities. And I wanted a funky beat. So that's what I got.
Good job.
All right, so if you're
Good
ready, we're going
job.
to move on to some pop culture news.
Yes, let's move on to some pop culture news. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie was spotted at a Sonic for a Simple Life reboot.
Lisa's telling you to take it easy. You were dancing a little too strenuously there. Why? Why are we bringing back the simple life?
I don't
It was
know why.
simple when we had it, and actually, do we really need it? I'm saying no. You know
No,
what?
we don't.
We don't need it. We don't need the simple life. Why bring that back? That's just
I don't know why, but we're going to put this in the category of things that you're getting that you didn't really need.
that you didn't
That,
want and you didn't know
that
you
you
didn't
didn't want.
need. All right, what's
Yeah,
next in
yeah.
news?
Next in the news, I want to leave this next. Okay, we got Snoop. Okay, because I got another Olympic story here, and I was going to put them together, but we won't.
Okay,
One of the
I only
best
had the
parts of
one
the
Olympic story. I didn't know you had another Olympic story.
no, yeah, I do. It's at the bottom. I added it like 45 minutes ago, but it's okay.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it anyway. But one of the best parts of the Olympics, everyone agrees, is all the photo ops of Snoop Dogg. Who would think that Snoop Dogg would be at the Olympics representing, carrying the torch, everything? But we're getting
You know
some of
what
the
was
best.
funny? Because your mother and your son spent the day together yesterday, and they actually FaceTime me, and they were watching the Olympics. I'll wait and tell you what they were watching in a minute. But so I was like, you know what? I haven't really paid attention to the Olympics. So I went and Googled, like, Paris Olympics. And when you pull up the website, the first person you see is Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
It's like, and then evidently, mommy says they're paying him like some ridiculous amount of money a day to like be there. To like, I don't know, is he the mascot or the official like celebrity of the Olympics? But she also said too, and I thought this was kind of cool, is that he has a number of charities and a number of different organizations that he actually supports. So I'm like, that is pretty cool. That's like really
it is very
leveraging
cool.
your
It
fame
is
for
very,
something positive. So I was
very
like,
cool.
I was all about it. I'm like, you know what? I don't
You
care if
know who
it's
else
for
is
your
there?
arthritis or for whatever, but if you need to, smoke your little wacky weed, that's all right. If you're using your
Hey, look,
fame, celebrity,
hey,
and money to help people.
I'm team smoking a wacky. Okay, but anyway, also, you know who else is there?
Ooh,
Um, Flavor Flav sponsored, I think women's polo
oh, cool.
or
Flavor
water polo,
Flav.
something like that. Flavor Flav sponsored one of the teams. He's helping to sponsor one of the teams. So Flavor Flav is always there, and it's nice that these a lot of these hip hop guys get this stigma, and oh, they're ruining our kids and stuff. But you got Flavor Flav, you got Snoop Dogg of all two people at the Olympics representing and doing a good job, and I'm just very
And that's on
excited to
like a
see.
world stage because the Olympics is
Yeah,
not
world
just
stage,
what we
world
see
stage.
in this country. And speaking of which, because they both gained their fame for like rap music, and a part of rap music and hip hop culture was this thing that I thought was big in the 80s. I didn't realize it was actually an Olympic event, but
Yeah,
evidently breakdancing.
yes, and this is one of the stories I added on. The
Okay.
breakdancing competition. Talk about appropriation. Let's talk about this because I seen some things that I really didn't need to see. And one of the things that's going around, one of the memes that's going around, is the Australian. And I wanted to know if you had a picture of this. The Australian woman that was breakdancing,
I do not, but I can check
and
the interwebs real
apparently,
quick. My curiosity is piqued, so I gotta look.
apparently no one in Australia really knows anything about breakdancing. They
Oh,
just knew.
you know what's funny? When you go to the Google machine, I started typing in the word Australian. I put in AUST, and the first search came up was Australian breakdance
Yes,
breakdancer.
when you see this woman breakdance, it is cringe. Like there was some good breakdancers, and there was some breakdancers that were just didn't have. Me and George were looking at it because it was on when I left the house, and it was like they just didn't have flavor. Like there's a certain flavor to breakdancing. I'm sorry, there's a certain flavor to it, and you can't just get out there and start spinning around on the floor and think you got the flavor for it.
Okay,
And some
let's
of these
see.
people,
Let's see if I can bring up the break dancers.
and
So bear
this
with me.
this
Let's see.
just the Australian woman that was breakdancing. She was on the floor,
Is
and
that
she wasn't really like she was flopping around on the floor, and it wasn't really a dance move she was doing. And then she hopped like a kangaroo, and she did
well? It is
this, and
Australia.
yeah, but it just wasn't. No, she got on the floor sideways and spun
Who
herself
was
around.
that?
And and it was the worst. Yeah, see that move? I don't know what she's doing there, but
Here, let's watch it again. I don't know what
I
that
don't know what she
is.
was doing. But she got on the floor and she did like
You
floor
doing jumping
toe
jacks or
touches.
something?
She did floor toe touches or something like that. And I don't. I
Oh, Lord,
Australia.
help me.
I'm sorry, Australia. Y'all need like watch Beat Street or I don't know what to tell you to do. Like go to Harlem or something. I don't. It start look breakdancing started by African American kids in the Bronx. Go to the Bronx. I don't know Australia. Somebody should have told you. Yeah, this I don't know what she was doing. She came. She came dressed like she's like a fast food worker in a jumpsuit, and
She came dressed like a fast food worker and started doing calisthenics on the floor. Oh, that's a
she,
hot shame. I'm
and
sorry.
she looked like she's
That's
somebody's
funny
mom.
though. I mean, come
She
on.
looked like she's somebody's mom, and I don't. The kids are asking the husband and the kids are asking all for a divorce. She can't go back home.
All right, what
Next on
else
the
we got in
news.
the news? Let's move it on.
I put the story in because I knew you would love the story. And in 1997,
Oh, you
in
know
the
what?
F.
Not only do I love the story, but I have the story. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna bring
Okay,
it up.
so
And
Anderson,
here, let's do
Gillian
this.
Anderson, rather.
I'm
Gillian
sorry.
Anderson, Gillian Anderson kissed David Duchovny at the 1997 Emmys when she won the awards, and she said she doesn't
Oh,
know
wait,
why
here
she
it
did.
is. I have it.
Well, I've been told that you guys want some information about when I won the Golden Globe back a century ago, and I kissed David first. And why did I not kiss my boyfriend Rodney? And the fact is that David and I were actually living together, and Rodney was my beard.
Bazinga!
That's just a joke. What does that really mean? I don't know why I kissed him first. I
That's a
guess because um, he was on the show with me, and we were practically married because we spent more time with each other than we did with our loved ones, and we were there to celebrate the series, and so yeah, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Rodney was a great guy. Don't think it bothered him. He understood. It was complex. That's all I got.
oh, you know what? Here's my theory. I think that whole thing about, oh, we were living together and Rodney, her boyfriend was the beard, and she goes, oh, that was a joke. I think there's like a little bit of truth to that. And I know during the taping of the original show, there was a lot of talk that they didn't like each other. And he would get annoyed because I guess they spent a lot of time in makeup fixing her hair and everything else because because I don't know what is about, Lisa. I think it was about that. Might have been about that breakdancing, but
It's not
the
the right thing.
delay, I didn't see it at first. Um, but anyway, but I think when they did the reboot, I don't know. There was something about their interactions when they were doing talk shows and stuff. It was way too familiar. So
Hey,
I don't know. I don't know. I think there's some there, and that's not just because. And actually, when I watched the show, I wasn't a shipper because, again, I watched the show back in the days with the AOL chat rooms and Delphi and CompuServe, and we would go in after the show and break apart everything that happened and all the conspiracy theories and all that kind of junk. I was way in. But then there were a whole group of people who were shippers who always wanted, Sculler and Moldy, Mulder and Scully to get together, and I was never one of those folks. But actually, I think after one of the movies, they were together, and when the series returned, they were together, and I was okay with it and accepting of it. But again, never really wanted them to. Never was a shipper, but I'm an X File, Phile, so I go with it. But yeah, so thank you for putting in some X File news because
I put in some X
that's right up
File.
my alley.
Yeah, I know it is. Next on our news is Star Wars Daisy Ridley is diagnosed with Graves' disease. So let's say a prayer for her and Hope she gets through that very well, or okay, or whatever. But
And
she
again,
revealed.
okay, as someone who has Graves' disease, um, again, it's not yeah, a death sentence, and basically, it's a disease. It affects the thyroid, but the one thing that it does require is, and again, there's all different courses of treatment. I know for my treatment, I had to have my thyroid removed, and I have to have it monitored. So I do have to have like biopsies, like either annually or biannually, depending on what my endocrinologist tells me. And because I had my thyroid removed, I have to take a synthetic thyroid or a pill, and basically I got to do that daily for the rest of my life. So again, it's not a necessarily, you know,
Death sentence, but it's something that
right.
you
It's
do
not
have to
the
monitor.
worst thing in the world, but it is something that you have to live with and deal with. And it could be genetic too. So I'm sure there are other folks in our family who have Graves' disease. The one thing you do have to worry about is that sometimes it can affect your sight and your eyes, and that I think again, there used to be diseases and conditions that, yes, they might have been side effects or different things. We didn't even know about them. But once they get a medication for them, all of a sudden you have a ton of commercials about it. But there is a thing called thyroid eye disease. TED, so TED. And I think Wendy Williams may have Graves' disease as well, because I've seen pictures of her with her eyes where they kind of get big and bulgy, and that is one symptom of thyroid disease, or a disease affecting the thyroid like Graves' disease. So yeah, so it is um, you know not the worst thing in the world, but you deal with it. I think the worst thing for me was, oh, I'm sorry, I'm hitting the microphone and that's got to sound horrible. The worst thing for me is before I got diagnosed and I didn't know what was going on with my body. And I think one time I nearly passed out on the bus lot when I was back down at Travel
Mm.
Hospital. And they had to sit me in a chair because, again, because my thyroid was all out of sync and all wonky, my body didn't know how to react. But once it's diagnosed, I think, and you get treatment, you know, it's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to hit 60, so, you know,
Hey,
hey.
next to the list, Nick Cannon revealed that he would definitely get back with Mariah.
Like she's anyway. Like after
Him
he after
and
he
all his other, because his 10 other kids, because he's got like 12, 11 to 12 now. So him and
yeah,
his 10
I
other
mean, he
kids,
was on a mission. He was out there.
yeah, and all that was because he missed Mariah, I guess. I don't know. So the Fugees had a tour coming, and everybody's waiting for the Fugees because people love the Fugees, and the Fugees getting back together is such a great idea. But they canceled their tour on Tuesday night, just the day before it started. Last Tuesday, they canceled the tour. One of the reasons I think it was something that had to do with publicity. The tour is still going on, but not in North America. They're doing Europe.
Oh, and there are so many people who would love to see the Fugees. It's like,
There's so many people, but you're going to have to go to Europe if you want to see the Fugees. I believe the motivation for them canceling in America is kind of political
hmm.
and social. So, and the Fugees is that group where I could believe something like that. You know, um, Wyclef and Lauryn Hill saying, "Look, I'm not doing nothing in this country. We shoot. So, another thing that you did not want that is coming back: dance moms, the new era, a new
Isn't that
coach.
where we got
New,
what's that, Mama June?
no, that's not Mama June.
She didn't
No,
start off on Dance Moms?
no, Mama June didn't start off on there. No,
What
no,
did she start
that
off
was like
on?
that was one of them pageant shows. Her kid was in a pageant.
I don't know. I kind of
Yeah,
beg
no,
to differ.
trust me, trust me. Mama June did not start on that because my kids watch Dance Moms religiously, so I know what Dance Moms was, and I was going to write down a new teacher and everything, but I forgot to write it down.
Okay. Oh, you're
And
right. It was
um,
toddlers and tiaras. I'm sorry. I thought it was dance moms.
yeah, yeah, it was toddlers and tiaras that she was in, and
Same difference.
but I mean, I didn't like the first Dance Moms when it came on because she was mean. The lady who was in charge of them all, Abby or whatever her name was, she was mean for no reason. And I
Mm.
know you have to be mean to get these girls on, but she was just downright. She was just downright vicious. She played favorites.
Again,
She,
I just don't like reality shows because,
yeah,
they just
this
don't
one,
sit well with me.
yeah, this one was a reality show that I really could have did without.
Hmm.
Um, you know, from the dance rounds, you got that girl JoJo. What is her name? She's the dancer who dances all that kind of stuff, and um, yeah, yeah, dance rounds. Please no, yes. So this show now takes place in Pennsylvania. JoJo Siwa, is that her name? She does
Okay.
all dances. She's all over the place, and that was the person. The person was Maddie Ziegler. Their careers got launched, and there's a new Dance Mom show coming. And you know what? Abby Lee Miller was the old dancer, was the old teacher, and she was the one. She wound up doing jail time and everything else
Yeah.
for some stuff she was doing. So
See,
the new
and
Dance
and
Mom.
and right there, just stop with the story. Right there is part of the problem, is that we're using reality TV, and this goes back even to having to deal with like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie with The Simple Life, because we're putting bad behavior on television, and you know what? People are accepting it, and we should not be. We need to draw a line. We need to draw a line. Um, um, you know, so it was,
Okay,
yeah. It's
moving
just
on from Dance Moms.
okay.
I'm going to I actually got a Taylor Swift story begrudgingly because I thought it was important. Um, Taylor Swift had to cancel 3 of her concerts in Vienna due to terrorist threats, and the
Wow.
suspects were linked to ISIS.
Oh wow, that's
So,
scary.
so I would like to say her singing is so bad that the terrorist ISIS was like, look, we can't let this go on. But she did
That's
have to,
not nice.
huh? What?
That's not
I
nice.
what?
That's
They're
just
like, this
mean.
song is so bad. We're doing you. No, but
That's just mean.
yeah, that's just me. That's just me. Um, and one last thing, Maya Rudolph is up for the lead actress in the Apple TV comedy Loot, and a guest actress for hosting SNL.
Okay, I haven't
Uh,
seen Loot.
I haven't seen Loot either, but I'm going to watch it. Lyrics for her Mother's Day song on SNL and her longtime voice gig on Netflix animated Big Mouth. So I'm saying this because this she has like the nominations in different categories, and it's like a record-breaking thing. She has like 4 nominations for the Emmys, and she's got one for lead actress, guest actress on a host on SNL. She's got one for a song on SNL, and she's got one for her voice acting on a Netflix show, Big Mouth.
That's pretty cool.
So Maya
So
Rudolph,
she's just covering all her bases.
you know what? And after a few other actresses, now that we're talking about celebrity crushes, she's one of my celebrity crushes also.
She is. She is.
Yeah,
Um,
she's
but that's awesome too to have like
set
such
to find
range
out
and
she was
such a
married.
career. And not only that too, because we did a show about Nepo babies, and I know some people, take some flack if they are siblings of celebrities already. But I don't know. To me, it seems almost like a different course of action because her mom was a celebrity singer, and she, really didn't gain her fame from singing. Almost like Lenny Kravitz, his mom was famous for acting, but he found his, even though he has appeared in acting roles, he's found his road to fame as a singer, as a rock legend, and I think he could be on this celebrity crush list also. And you know what? Guess
Here's
guess
the
what?
thing.
He turned 60 this year too.
Here's the thing about Lenny Kravitz and Maya Rudolph.
Wait, I could be wrong
Oh,
about that. I think he turned 60. Go ahead.
yeah, but here's the thing about those two. They became popular, and you didn't realize who their parents were until after they became famous.
Right.
Like the general, like I'm sure people in Hollywood knew who they were and who their parents were, from seeing these kids around or whatever, being around them. I'm sure Maya Rudolph came up. I'm sure Stevie Wonder was like, "Oh man, that's such and such," that's Benny
Yeah, I
Middleton's
am
kid.
right. He turned 60 in May, like Lisa. So he turned 60 in May. So I am right.
So
I know I
I'm
know
sure,
all
like,
the people born this year. 1964. It was a very good year. It was a
I'm
very
sure
good
certain
year.
people
All right,
knew.
before we get into the list, let me just quickly say thank you guys for hanging out with us as the pop culture kids. I know you could be doing anything on your Sunday night, and we appreciate you winding down and kind of kicking it with us as we share some pop culture news, talk about a pop culture topic. You can check us out at our website, www.kathyandkenny.com. And because I guess pop culture kids were taken, but that's a new name change anyway. But we appreciate you. You can also hear us on Who's Got Next Radio on Tuesday nights, as well as hearing Kenny's interviews, which air live on Instagram on Monday night with Words Out Productions. So we are all over the interwebs. You can catch our social media links in the description, but do make sure you like, comment, and even share the stream so other people can kind of chill out on their Sunday nights with us. All right. I'm getting better at my commercial read. I'm reading a commercial without even having a script. It's kind of like unscripted commercial. Not bad. Not bad. If I must say so myself.
Okay, so let's start with our celebrity crush list. We're
Okay.
going to work our way from the bottom one up.
All
These
right.
are in no particular order.
And well, why don't you tell us how you came up with this list specifically? What was the thinking that went behind, like what was the mojo that went behind the magic of coming up with this list of celebrities?
Well, one of the things I did was I went in my Google search. I typed up the most popular celebrity crushes. A couple of lists came in. And I took some people from this list, took some people from that list, took some people from another list, put them all together, dropped some people off, added some people in, and this is what you have.
Okay. And you know what? You're gonna have to help me because there's actually two people on this list. Like, I don't know why they're famous, and you might have to clue me in because maybe it's because I'm 60. Maybe it's because I'm so old. I don't even know who these folks are.
All right. Well, I added one a half hour before we started. I'm sure you probably don't have a thing for
Uh,
this, but
I
I
I
put
don't have it.
my
Probably don't have it on the list. So I
okay.
added one
I put my
too.
top, I'm going to start off with my top celebrity crush.
I
That
added.
I've loved this girl.
Okay.
Hold on, let me talk. I love this girl since the beginning, since I've seen her in the '70s. Janet Jackson.
I was about to say, since you named your guitar after her.
Yes. I named my guitar after Janet Jackson is my celebrity crush. You know, and then comes Whoopi Goldberg, then comes Sandra Bernhardt. But we're gonna let that go.
And then Michelle Pfeiffer,
Um,
and yeah, the list goes on. All right.
Pfeiffer,
So,
yeah,
and and to that effect, you didn't have him on the list, but I put my celebrity crush on the list, and that would be Keanu Reeves. And I like
you
this
know,
movie. What?
a lot of women say that. I don't get it.
You don't get it? What's not to get? Not
I don't,
only is he 60, so he's age appropriate, but I don't know, there's this Keanu-ness about Keanu. And
he's
I mean, if
not
you
the best
like The
actor in the world.
Matrix, John Wick, I mean, he does the
Yeah, but
right
he's not
thing,
the
but then he
best.
can
He's
do
not the
the
actor. He's
goofy,
not the best actor in the world.
he what?
He's not the best actor in the world.
No, but sometimes it's a combination of not just the best actor, but yeah, it's a bunch of different things that you have to kind of weigh in. That it's not always about, oh, who's the best actor. Um, but just I know, Ed, we haven't figured it out to this date. Kenny's Sandra Bernhardt crush. I don't get
And
it.
that's the thing. I said out of the Golden Girls, B. Arthur, could get it. That's all.
Ed Brown says, KP, didn't you also like B. Arthur? Really? Out of the Golden Girls, you're going to pick B. Arthur? I mean, I like Maud, but come on. That's just disturbing. That's just disturbing. See, okay, you know what? Ed was on it, and I had hid my screen so I couldn't see my comments, but he had the rundown on Keanu because yes, he was born in 1964. It was a very, very good year. But yeah, I added Keanu to the list. Okay, who else for a celebrity crush? And by the
Brad
way,
Pitt.
in the comments, if you could let us know your celebrity crush, we already know that Lisa's celebrity crush would be Morris Chestnut. And if you don't know who he is, go back and watch Boys in the Hood. And was he in oh God, what else was he in? Morris Chestnut. I want to say I know
Who could
Boys in
play
the
a
Hood.
bad game? The Best Man.
The Best Man,
Uh,
that's what I was trying to
Best
think
Man
of.
Holiday.
Best
He
Man
was in,
Holiday, yeah.
he did a movie with Steven Seagal early in his career. One of those movies he played the sidekick or whatever.
Uh,
He was in. I know the perfect superhero that this man could play, and I would love to see them get him to play this superhero because now he's at an age where the superhero is a little older, but he's in good shape, and I think they can make him a little older. But this hero right here called Blue Marvel, if in the MCU wants to cast this character, Morris Chestnut would be the perfect person to do that.
would be the perfect person to be Blue Marvel.
Yes, Morris
Oh
Chestnut
wait,
would be.
okay. Here's a celebrity crush. Before we get back to the list, Ed says when he was younger, he liked Christina Applegate and Bernadette Stanis, who was on Well,
Good
we
time.
know Ed is a big Good Times fan.
Yes, yes. Those are
uh
two.
oh
Christina
yeah, the best man.
Applegate.
And he was it Morris Chestnut was in a TV series too for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was something, but he was a doctor or something like that. It's a recent TV series. You know, Christina Applegate.
Like Married with Children.
I know who she is, but
Oh,
I don't
oh,
know.
don't tell
You know, you
mommy
know
the
what?
babysitter is dead.
Yeah, well, you know
I'm
what?
right on
You know
top
what?
of that, Rose.
Yeah, Christina Applegate. Christina Applegate never put me on.
She never oh, didn't work for you. Okay. All right, let's get back to the list because
Yeah,
we
we
got
run out of
20
time.
minutes to get through about
Scarlett
20 people.
Johansson is a big one. Men seem to love Scarlett Johansson. I don't see the thrill.
Oh wait, you
She's
skipped
no
Brad
Whoopi
Pitt.
Goldberg. Oh, we did. Oh, I thought we did Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt
Brad
is
Pitt.
another one.
And you know what? I used to like him, but when he cheated on his wife to marry Angelina Jolie, and you see how that worked out for him, then
I'm not mad at him
I
though.
kind of
I'm
went,
really not mad at him.
huh?
Not mad. I'm not mad. kind of traded
I
up.
don't
I'm
know.
not mad.
He was married to Jennifer Aniston, and then just toss her aside. And although I did enjoy Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I didn't want to enjoy it, but I just
But you
like that
did.
movie.
But you did. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Okay. Maybe
Um,
I'm a bad person. All right. Next is
Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson.
Johansson, who was
I
the
don't. I
voice
don't.
of
I don't see the
her.
thrill. I don't see the thrill Mincy and Scarlett Johansson really. I really not. I'm not that in. I don't know.
Are you
Men
just
go crazy
upset
with
because
Scarlett
you don't
Johansson.
think she made a good Black
No,
Widow? Or,
she made a great Black Widow. She made a
okay.
great Black Widow. I just, yeah, yeah,
It's just, okay.
yeah.
Eh, Well,
Megan Thee Stallion.
and again, I mean, I don't. Okay, maybe my problem is why do you have to call yourself the stallion? Because that just, I don't know. There's already enough negative connotations about Black women, and that just puts me off. So I'm sorry. I might be out on my own with that, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I mean,
Moving on.
she's a very beautiful woman, but George Clooney,
Okay.
George Clooney,
All right. I'll move up.
is-
Okay. Sorry. Now that I
which
get.
that women go crazy over George Clooney. Women have been going crazy over George Clooney since Facts of Life. So
Yes.
there you
Oh, did
go.
I
We've
tell you
watched
I
George
went back and
Clooney 80.
watched that live action Facts of Life? I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah,
And you told me that there was a live action version. I think on the Disney Channel or one of the streaming services that I had, I was actually able to watch it. So I went back to watch it. I didn't think it was that good, but I did enjoy the woman who played Mrs. Garrett because I thought she did an excellent uh, Charlotte Ray impersonation. So she was just really good. And
the only thing bad you can
it
say
wasn't
about George
mocking
Clooney,
her, but it was really true to her, the character.
the only thing bad we can say about George Clooney is that he was the worst Batman ever. Moving on,
I don't think
Tom
so.
Holland.
That's wrong. I disagree. He was not the worst Batman ever.
Yeah, he was the
I
worst Batman ever.
disagree. I beg to
Yeah,
differ. I don't think he was the
yeah.
worst Batman
That's because you know
ever.
nothing about Batman, man.
He
You know
what?
nothing about Batman. You know nothing about Batman. Batman does not smile that much.
I just thought, but you
His
know what?
brain doesn't smile that
When
much.
he was on ER, yes, that was like when he was on Facts of Life. I don't know. It was a little too 80s. Hair was a little too blown, too big. But when he was on ER, he was hot. And then Ocean's 11, yes. And Ed says yes, he was a bad bat. I disagree. I disagree, Ed.
Yeah.
But again, I would expect this from Ed because again, he's all down with the whole Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
It is
But
a Christmas movie. Don't get Ed started. Don't
I mean,
don't piss Ed
like
off
Michael
early in the
Keaton
game.
is probably my favorite Batman, but I don't think George Clooney was that bad. Val Kilmer, I think, was worse than George Clooney.
Val Kilmer was way better than George Clooney.
I
Moving
disagree.
on to the list, because you're
Okay.
not going to agree with me. Moving on to the list, Tom Holland,
The Spider-Man, I
the
don't know.
Spider-Man.
He
Tom
looks too
Holland.
young. He looks like a
I
baby.
know all the young girls crush on Tom Holland. The young women crush on Tom Holland. He did, bag Zendaya, so he does have some cred points in the street too. You know,
That's just wrong.
that's
Wasn't
just
he
wrong. I know.
dating Emma Stone? Oh no, no. I'm thinking of the other Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah, the other Spider-Man. Next, we have Florence Pugh.
Okay. This was the one. I'm like, who is she? Is she a
She
singer?
is the new Black Widow.
Oh, really? Okay. But did
Yeah,
she do anything else? I'm like, I saw
I
her
don't
name on
know.
this list and I
She
Googled
might have done
pictures of
something.
her.
She's an actress. Men crush on her. I don't get it, but men
But what
crush on
else
her.
has she been in?
I don't know.
Like, why is she
She's the new
famous?
Black Widow. She's the new Black Widow. She was in an MCU movie. Anybody comes in an MCU movie, they're automatically famous. Just live with it.
What
This
what
is what it
what
is.
movie was she Black Widow in?
The Black Widow movie.
I thought that was Scarlett Johansson.
Yes, she's the new Black Widow though. And
But
she was
she was
also in a TV show. She was also in a Hawkeye TV show too.
okay. So that's why she's famous.
That's why she's famous.
I don't get it.
Next we have next we have Drake. You
Even
know,
though he
the man
lost
who's
the rap battle, people are still crushing
yeah,
on him.
The man who spent 2024 being Kendrick Lamar's bitch. But anyway,
Oh, that's wrong. That is way wrong.
woo!
That is wrong.
Woo!
That's not right. That's not
He started
right.
off on Degrassi, and now he's a famous rapper. He's really not rap. He's more pop than anything. But next we have
Oh, now this all day long, all day, all night
I
long.
just Elba.
Yes.
I don't get it. I don't get what women see. If they saw this brother out on the street emptying trash, they would walk right by him.
I don't think so. I couldn't find like a chesty picture like the Brad Pitt one I found from Thelma and Louise. But I don't know. And you know what? Part of it, I think, it might be maybe it's the English accent. Because sometimes you could
I
rap
think,
anything in the English accent and be like, oh
I think
Lord.
it's
But
the
even in the roles where what was the Christmas movie he did where he didn't like he had an American accent. I don't know. There's something that is rugged and sexy about Idris Elba. You know. And then that British accent, oh, you throw anything on a British accent and you can get away with it. You just can. I'm just saying. Talk
Dwayne
about it like
Johnson.
that. Anyway,
Dwayne Johnson is next on our list.
there you go. I can't find my rim shot. I got new sound pads and I couldn't find them all. And see,
Dwayne
Lisa
Johnson is
agrees
next
with
on our
me.
list.
Yes, he is a
Yeah,
handsome
okay.
brother.
I
Hmm.
agree with you. Of course. Of course. Well, I'm not surprised. So, The Rock. Boom,
I,
boom.
and I don't get it. Maybe I don't know. It's just like to me, like this Christmas. That was the movie I was trying to think of. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah,
This Christmas. I
yeah.
love that movie. That's
But
familiar.
Dwayne
But
Johnson is next on the list. He is. You never see him in any romantic roles
what
in movies. He's always the action guy. He never really gets romantic with any women.
what
I
what
think I
about
probably
the
seen one
wasn't he
scene.
in one with Emily Blunt? Were they not romantically involved in that one or
Yeah, but you never really see him get like too romantic. Like you might see a woman like him in the movie, but like Jumanji, I think it was. But
hmm.
he
Or
doesn't do romantic
who's
roles
the
very
other
well. But
former wrestler that acts now? Oh God.
Dave, um, the guy that was in Guardians of the Galaxy, Dave
No,
Barissa.
no, not Dave Balista or whatever his name is. No, not him. I thought there was another like box office guy who used to be a wrestler. No,
I don't
not
know.
John Cena. Oh, who am I trying to think of? It'll come to me and we'll be all done with the show. And I'll be sitting in
Okay.
my bed yelling at his name. It's not The
Wow.
Rock. It's
We
somebody
don't, we don't want to
else.
hear. We don't want to hear about names you're yelling out in bed. But anyway, next we have on our list is Emma Stone.
Oh, you got jokes.
I
Aren't you
got lots of
funny?
jokes. We have Emma Stone on our list. She is the next one. Now I can see this. She has a girl next door sexiness to her. Emma Stone is just about hot in everything I see her in.
I thought it was interesting, like some of her early movies. I think what was one of those comedies, but she had the red hair, and she kind of reminded me, like I was like, oh wait, this is like Lindsay Lohan light, because evidently Lindsay Lohan was having her wild drug-induced stuff, and and this child was coming in, but actually, I think naturally she is supposed to be a blonde, but for the movies or parts she took, she dyed her hair red. Now I actually, and I know it was so funny because I went to that award show last night for the theater production, the K Awards, which I didn't win, and nobody in our show won. And I thought we had a great show, but that's for another time. Bitter Hotline, Kathy speaking. But anyway, but there were like 10 people in my categories. So I knew the chances were slim. But in any case, uh, they were opening the first award. They opened the envelope to read the win. They were about to read the winner, and they had the wrong envelope. And somebody yelled out, "La La Land," We just started cracking up.
No, that ain't
It
right.
it was an
That ain't right.
Oscars joke, but if you're in a room full of theater people, they would get it. But that happened when they announced La La Land instead of the actual winner, which was Moonlight. And I saw both movies because actually our cousin Dorian told me to go see Moonlight, and it was going to be great. But to me, it was so depressing and sad. I actually like La La Land, and I might be in
I
the
didn't like La La
minority.
Land. I never seen Moonlight, and I did not like La La Land.
And I know I
It's
hate
one of the worst musicals
musicals,
I've ever seen.
but I enjoyed it, and maybe that's Ryan Gosling. He just works for me. No worries. Hey, I'll just live on to act in another show. Hey, I got my K award, so I can't complain too much. And for the role I got it with, I think had more impact for me because it was the first time they had did Raisin in the Sun since they originally did it 60 years ago. And they did it 60 years ago at this theater, and people actually protested and had a problem with putting all these black people on stage. So, as the 60-year anniversary, I got to actually perform in it. So, that was pretty cool and won an award. So, I'm going to bask and live in that glory for a while. All right, next on the list.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles from that singing group that he was
Again,
in,
just
One Direction. And he does have a really good song on one of his albums, Sunflower, that I really like. It's kind of good. So Harry Styles. And on our comments, Ed Brown said Wilma from Buck Rogers, Aaron Gray.
oh, that's going
And
old school.
yes. And I met
I
Aaron Gray
remember
at a Comic
Aaron Gray.
Con. I met Aaron Gray at a Comic Con one time, like 15 years ago. She was very nice, very beautiful, very warm, very friendly, and a lot of people like Lou Ferrigno was charging like 60 back then. He was charging like $60 or $70 to take a picture with him. Aaron Gray only wanted $5, and the $5 donation that you gave her went to a women's shelter in LA.
Oh, that's cool.
I said, I don't really need the picture. I'm just going to give you this $5. Next on our list is Beyonce,
Ah, the
Queen
Beehive.
B from the Beehive. Beyonce is next on the list, and I don't see it, but okay. She is a
Okay,
very
for the
beautiful woman.
person who put Sandra Bernhardt and Whoopi Goldberg on his list, eh, okay, I can't even with you, but all right. But Bay, folks, yeah.
Next, we have
And you know,
Ryan Reynolds.
she's on the list, but her husband didn't make the list. I'm just saying.
No, Jay Z is nobody's crush. I don't think Jay Z is anybody's crush. I'm sorry.
Now,
I'm
I'm
sorry, Jay.
surprised you
But Jay,
only have
look,
one Ryan on the list.
we're
Because,
still wondering. We're still wondering how Jay Z managed to get Beyonce to marry him. Okay, I don't know how. Yeah, no, Jay Z's
oh,
not making a
oh,
list.
I know how. Oh, I know how. Because he's got a copy of something on them puffy tapes. That's
Yo,
how. Oh, I know. I won't.
yo.
But here's the thing: you only put one Ryan on the list. What about Ryan Gosling? You're just being anti-Canadian. That's all.
I got Ryan Reynolds. He's Canadian.
Oh, that's true. But Sabrina LeBeau. Oh, wow, you're going. Ed is back way back in the '80s.
What's Sabrina the book? That sounds familiar. Who is she?
uh, the Cosby Show. That was the oldest daughter, and actually she
Oh
wasn't there
yes,
at the
yes,
beginning.
yes.
They brought her in.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know what? I agree with Ed on that one. I agree with Ed on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds
I guess
was a
you put
very
him on here because he's having his moment with Deadpool and Wolverine. But I would have put Ryan Gosling on there too.
yeah, sure. Okay.
'Cause
So
after the
that's yeah.
Notebook, who didn't crush out on him? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Ice
That
Spice.
okay. This is one. Who is she and why is she famous?
She is a rapper.
Okay. All right. That's probably why I
She's
don't know.
she's a
Because all my
model
music probably
also.
does come from the
She is
'80s.
a rapper. But Ice Spice is someone that a lot of young men have crushes on, have a crush on. So Ice Spice.
All right. So
Next we
that's
have
like
Timothy Chalamet,
again
who
just
is
too young looking. I actually
Yeah,
thought he was like English or something. He's actually from New York. Like he grew up like a New York kid. So,
yeah,
but
and well, he's also he's off on this. I think one of the things that shot up his popularity is the Dune movies that he's in, and he's done a couple of other things. But he recently signed a contract with Warner Brothers, and the fanboys are hoping he shows up in the DCU in a new Teen Titans movie in some sort of effect. So we'll see where that lands us. Next, we have Jenna Ortega,
okay.
and
Now,
this
and
is for the
actually,
young boys.
even though I'm not as familiar with her, but I know she was in the Wednesday. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like the young boys crush on her, I guess,
Okay.
because she is very young. So yeah, I don't see it. Next we have Michael B. Jordan.
Ah, Creed.
I still don't see it, but okay, because he's got a funny shaped head.
What is
He's
wrong?
got like a
There's
bean
nothing
head.
wrong with his head.
He's got a bean head.
He does not.
He's got a bean head.
But just look at that body that he put together to be in
He's
those
got a
Creed
bean
movies. Come on
head.
now. Come on.
He's got a bean head. He's got a bean head.
You leave it
So,
alone. You
but
can't
I
even
hear a lot of women crush over Michael B. Jordan and Linda Carter. Come on, man.
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Hey, it's Linda Carter. Linda Carter.
That's a good
I was,
celebrity crush.
Ed, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Ed wasn't into Mindy from The Facts of Life. So next we have. He's like, I want all the Facts of Life girls. Chris Hemsworth, Thor, and I guess it is to the Australian accent that he has that women find very attractive. Is the accent.
Oh, definitely.
I
English,
guess if
Australian,
I had
any
an accent,
accent
I
will
probably
do.
would.
Oh, Ed is definitely kicking it old school.
You know
Marianne
what?
from
Marianne
Gilligan's
Gonzalez.
Island.
I can see that one. I can see that.
Marianne over Ginger. I think most men would
Yes,
go Marianne.
definitely Marianne over Ginger any day of the week. Marianne over Ginger any day of the week.
And also this doesn't surprise me either because most men would pick Joe over Blair
Yes,
because
yes.
Joe was the more real of the four girls from the Facts of Life. Uh,
Joe, all four of them, I would pick Joe. I would definitely pick Joe.
all right, and
Next we have
finally, oh no, not finally, we got two more.
look, Jennifer Aniston.
Okay. And part of that was the whole
So
haircut she had on like the second season of
yeah,
Friends or the first
okay,
season
loved it.
that people wanted
Yeah,
that Rachel
she's
haircut.
okay. She's okay. Look, when looking at Friends, I think Lisa Kudrow was the sexiest one on Friends. Lisa Kudrow was the sexiest one on Friends. But people like, Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox. Next, last but not least, we have
But and
Chris
actually,
Evans.
well, for the guys on Friends, I actually thought Chandler was would be the sexiest one because Ross was a little too goofy cute, and Joey was a little too pretty boy. And there was something about his eyes. He had a raccoony thing going on with his eyes, but Chandler was the male choice for the Friends. So there you have it.
Last but not least, we have Chris Evans.
Johnny Storm or
Johnny Storm,
Captain
Captain
America.
America,
Take your pick.
Johnny Storm. He also played in. He also played another comic book. He played in. There's actually a list of because he's played a lot of different comic book heroes
Oh, okay.
or comic book characters, rather not heroes so much as characters. Because he was in the Losers, which is a comic book character. He played in that, and of course Captain America, Johnny Storm, and he was in Scott Pilgrim Saves the World, which is that's from a
That's from
comic
a
book.
comic book too.
Yeah, he was something else from a comic book, and I just can't remember what it was. But he was in those four as comic book characters. So um, he's probably played like some of the most comic book characters of anybody, I think. So, but that is our list of celebrity crushes, and you know,
Good list. Good list. I'm sure there are tons more. Um, And again, you're just probably picking some of the most modern ones, but as Ed reminded us, everybody from the old school TV shows definitely uh,
Well,
garnered a lot
I
of crushes.
Hart Bachner.
I don't know. Was that from Heart? I don't know who that is. That
I
it
don't know who
sounds
that is.
familiar. What show is that?
What show is that, Ed?
Because it sounds so familiar. Heart. Hmm. Uh, he played he played Ellis from the Greatest Action. Right into that. I walked right in. He played Ellis from the Greatest Action Movie of
No, Ed! Bravo! Brava! 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 Yes, yes,
We bow down to
yes.
Ed. We bow down to Ed. He
He
got me.
played Ellis
That was
for the
good. That was
movie Die
good.
Hard.
So, Kitty, where are we coming from next week?
You're coming from North Carolina. I'm coming from South Jersey, and we're gonna. I don't know we'll find out tomorrow what we're talking about.
All right,
I
because
had
we
a
were
busy
going to try to
weekend.
do House of the Dragon, but I barely got through one episode, and you haven't watched any, correct?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay, so we got to put that one off, and
Yeah,
maybe we need to bring in a guest speaker that can explain House of Dragons to us,
yeah. I
because
think we need to probably do that.
yeah, we need to have somebody break
Yeah,
down House of Dragons for us, and once we
yeah.
find that person, we'll reschedule that show on Pop Culture Kids. But we will be back next Sunday, 8 o'clock, and as always, we wish you love, peace, and pop culture.
God bless your soul and keep living. Peace.
Kathy and Kenny got the vibe. Latch key kids on a ride. After school, they come alive. Pop culture kids, let's jive.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.